Okay, Karen, I've got your work up. Here's your, let me see where, oh, there it is right here. Okay, so taking a look at the presentation, let me back down off that a little bit so we can see the whole thing in the window. So let's take a look at your presentation. And I think right now, I think you've got a lot of visual inspiration and areas of inspiration in which to search for your visual encoding of your symbols and your signs and your logos, pictograms, etc. And that's fantastic. I think you've got too much here, though, in terms of the presentation, because right now we've just got pages and pages and pages of images. And then we only have that one last page there of sketches on the back. So this is a great idea, but I would like to see, at this point, I'd like to see more sketches. I'll get back into that in a second. This is very, very, very smart. This is called a word map, as you probably know. And it's a smart idea. You've got Colorado Central, and then you've got all of these words that are branching off Colorado. And it's really a smart way to approach a design project. Word maps, image maps, etc., etc., color studies, etc. Before you even really start thinking about concept, this is a great idea. So I was really glad to see this. Let's jump over into the actual sketches, and I want to show you a little something here in terms of what is due for this assignment. And so maybe we can take a look at to see where you should be or where I would like to see you at this point. So what is due this week? This week, begin to organize your thoughts in a written draft. I didn't see much of a written draft here. I saw a little bit. I saw a little bit here, but I think I would have liked to have seen more verbal ideas or written ideas on some of the concepts and some of your ideas that are going on over here. I know some of you have these little notes. Your sketchbook kind of looks like mine, where I've got notes everywhere and arrows pointing here and arrows pointing there and check marks and stars and everything else and things crossed out. So I think that this is showing that you're definitely transposing your thoughts from your mind to the paper, and that's smart. But again, I think that we're missing a good portion of the story. So then 6 solid sketches, as many logo concepts as you can think of. So basically what that, I guess what that kind of can transpose to is the fact that we need at least a good solid 6 logo ideas and associated pictograms. Right now I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ideas now. And what I'm seeing here, I think is very interesting. I think a lot of your ideas are very interesting. I would love you to do this. Moving forward into week 4, we have to isolate this down to your 3 strongest logo options. So what I'd like you to do for week 4 is pick your final 3 and really finalize the logo in the sketch. Okay, then you're going to go and you're going to turn these into your digital versions of the sketch. So in week 4, we need the finalized logo sketches as well as the digital versions. And then, as I said, this week, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a story behind what's going on in each of your sketches. So in other words, what is the thought pattern behind these sketches? Now, I think we'll be able to do that in your meeting, which is set up, I think, for Wednesday at noon. Now, if you can go ahead and before Wednesday at noon, if you can go ahead and give us, if you can give me some more finalized ideas and some of your written ideas behind the work itself, I think that would definitely help me to ascertain the direction that you see yourself going in for the project. Right now, I don't think there's enough here for me to be able to do that. I do see some interesting forms, some good ideas here. I think all of these are going to be good ideas. One thing that I'm really glad to see you doing is that you're thinking in terms of symbols as opposed to pictorial representations, and that's smart. I mean, after all, and a lot of students, if you remember looking through discussion board, my comments to a lot of students were, and you saw a lot of students submitting these pictorial representations of their logos. And I immediately said, if you're doing that, you got to stop. You got to rethink, and you got to think in terms of symbols. This is interesting right here. I think that's a wonderful shape right there. That's really gorgeous. Love that. Okay, real quick, if you haven't yet viewed this, and I'm just going to jump over right up here. Remember up here in our announcements, what I want to do is I want to jump over here to announcements. And I don't know if you've seen this yet or not, Karen, but if you haven't, take a look at it as soon as possible. And it's this announcement here. Welcome to week 4. Specifically, this video right here really describes exactly where we're going and where we're at. Now, I jump ahead to week 7 and show you an example of a final presentation so that you can see where you should be at this point in this final presentation. I kind of dissect it down into the phase 2 project, the part, the concept, design, logo, and general look, and break it down into the 4 phases: info, research, conceptual design, design development, and then the final presentation. So right now in our phase 2, conceptual design, where you're designing the logo and the general look of the actual event itself. So make sure you take a look at that. I don't know if you've taken a look at this yet or not either, but these announcements are really, really going to help tremendously in understanding where we're at and kind of giving a little roadmap of where we're at and where we need to be. So definitely take a look at that. Where do we need to be for week 4? And again, I just want to show you this real quick, but here's that. This is week 7 final example, and I'm just going to open that guy up. And I want to show you where we're at right now. Right now, this is that final from a previous student, table of contents. And then as you can see, going through historical summary location, this is all that stuff that we've worked on in phase 1, all that research that we worked on, geographic data, climate, transportation infrastructure, etc., architecture and art, etc., etc. So that would be synonymous to what you have developed up here, kind of given your visual representations and your visual, hang on one second, sorry about that, giving your visual inspiration, so to speak. And then right here, I just want to show you where we need to be for week 4. So then as we move on, we see this moves into phase 2 right here, where we're showing phase 2, conceptual design, logo, and general look. So basically for week 4, you need to have your 3 final logos. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And in the 3 final logos, you will give the logo. Also, I'd like you to give your finalized sketches too for the logo, as we can see that right here. Refined sketches. So you'll give those in week 4. So your presentation for week 4 will look something like this, but you'll have your logo, finalized logo. You'll give the symbol. You'll talk about the symbol, describing it. You'll give your variations, color studies, your final refined sketches, and then your digital version. Then you'll do that for your second logo and your third logo for your final 3 logos. Okay. All right. That's where I'm at. And thank you so much for your submission. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Other than that, I think, well, I will see you. Let me see. I've got noon. That's 10 a.m. So I'm in Cleveland right now. So I've got my schedule looking at, I have got Karen noon, which means Karen 10 a.m. for your meeting. That's Mountain Time. And that's what we had set up. So, all right. So let me just double check that real quick, Karen. While I've got you on the line here, let's just double check that and see where we're at. Sorry about that. Let me see. Where did you go? There you are, right there. Yes, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, July 19th. That's okay. So I'll see you then. And if you have any questions or you want to adjust anything here or give any further descriptions, we'll be talking about that. And in that meeting, you'll just be describing your work. All right. Any questions? Give me a holler. Thanks, Karen.